Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at Ask Adam Torres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special 2020 reunion episode, and those are my favorite. That's when I bring on a guest I had on in the past to reconnect because I just couldn't get enough in the first interview. So today's guest is Amy Mahjoory, who is a keynote speaker and best-selling author. Amy, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. You are too kind. Super excited to be back. So thank you so much for having me.
So first off, congratulations on the new addition to the family. My heart melts when I see your Instagram, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this little beautiful angel. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means so much. I know the last time we spoke, I was just a few days away from
literally about to pop. I don't know if that's inappropriate
right.
to say that, but literally.
I know, whatever. I know.
So that being said, I know you've had some focus now. I mean, we've had some pre-discussion, and you're like you had a lot of things you're doing, and now with the addition of the family and getting focused on and clear on what you like doing, the best parts of your day, you're focusing on keynote speaking and also on your writing. So let's get into the keynote speaking just to start.
Yeah, sounds great. It's funny because I always said before I had kids that I'm never going to be that parent who allows their child to dictate where they're going to live and what they're going to do. And suddenly my daughter was born 4 months ago, and now all I want to do is be a mom, live close to family, and just focus on one thing instead of 5. So it's changed my perception on so many things, personally and professionally. First and foremost, I am very excited. I can't think of waking up and not having her as my number one priority. So first and foremost is being a mom. And then to your point, number 2, when it comes to my career and my passion and my calling, absolutely it's my keynote. So I'm going to focus on 2020 just on my keynote. I'm letting all the other projects, putting them on the back burner for now. And as you know, my keynotes focus on, strategic networking with a purpose, and how people can achieve their goals by strategically networking, whether they're personal or professional. So it'll be networking keynotes and then my networking workshops, which I'll also facilitate if a client prefers to have a more hands-on type of event. So I'm very excited about that.
Let's get a little bit further into the structure of these. So first off, for the workshop, so there's a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs, executives listening, and a lot of salespeople, and people that networking is an important part, and obviously client acquisition is an important part of their business. And so for those type of people that are listening, what kind of things can they or their employees expect to get out of one of your workshops?
Absolutely. Thanks for asking. A lot of it is where I come in and just help the audience create that mindset shift. So many people think about traditional means of networking and walking into a networking event and, just handing out a bunch of business cards or trying to figure out what's in it for me instead of thinking about, how can they provide value and create win-win situations to best serve others. And so a lot of the things I teach is how to get creative, how to think outside the box when it comes to strategic networking. And a lot of the people I coach and train are corporate America types of individuals, leaders, executives. It is building your team, how to, reach your corporate goals and objectives without creating goals that don't align within the company. How can you, I've got a sales group right now. I teach them if they're cold calling clients, what do they say? How do they make themselves stand out? How are they memorable? So it's a lot more modern day networking that's just getting creative and thinking outside the box. How to leverage from LinkedIn instead of just connecting with someone. What are the types of strategic messages you can send people that's going to capture their attention? So a lot of different types of scripts and tools. The workshops are very hands-on. I have some individuals, depending on the room size, I'll have them bring their laptops. I set timers. We do role-playing, group discussion. So it's definitely a lot of fun, and it's very energetic. So it keeps the audience alive.
Where do you find, and obviously it's going to vary from organization to organization, also company to company, but where do you find a lot of people fall short in their networking efforts? Like, what are some of those common themes of mistakes that people are making out there?
That's a great question. A lot of people don't really get out there and they don't really put themselves out there. They just wait for the opportunities to come to them. They think that just by putting a post on social media, their phones are going to start to blow up, or by applying for a job online that, they're upset that no one called them. So again, it's how do you get your foot into the door? And maybe it's through a third party. Maybe you're building strategic allies and relationships that are going to link you to the individual decision maker, of that job that you're trying to lock up, for example. So a lot of it is just, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to because I'm very direct. Some of it's being lazy, and others, it's they really just don't know. For me, networking happens to be a towering strength, and a lot of people just don't think creatively when it comes to networking. It's, so it's not, there really is an art to how you approach people.
No, I love it, and I like the way you say it, that it is an art, because it really is. And one of the things that I find people make a lot of incorrect networking impressions, let's say, is the difference between networking in person or online. So digital versus in person. I feel like those two skills are being lost for some of the generation. Mm-hmm. Let me throw in some age bias, and if everybody out there is mad at me, I'm sorry. But for some of the younger generation, they're a little bit better a lot of times on digital than in person, I've noticed, and then vice versa. A lot of people and that's because they grew up with the technology. If you grew up with the technology, if Facebook was never not around, then you probably know what kind of messages are appropriate to send on Facebook, because you grew up in that culture, so you know what's barging in on somebody's time. For some of our older generation who are later to the game, they maybe don't know what's appropriate on Facebook. They think of it as this marketing tool. They don't think of it as like they said maybe some things. I'll give you a simple example. If you were in person and you were meeting somebody at a networking event, would you pull up your phone and put your phone in front of them and say, "Hey, watch this video. Watch this video"? You would not do that. So what makes it appropriate for you to spam your Facebook friends with something that says, "Hey, watch this video"? That's exactly what you're doing. You're doing the exact same thing. So the culture of it between how to network and these two things, in my opinion, I personally was really excited when you told me that you were going to focus more on keynotes in your workshops, because I'm like, hey, we need you. We need you. All of us out there need you, Amy. Get out there and do what you do. So I'm excited.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I agree with what you're saying. And remember, my background is corporate America. I worked for Dell Computers for 14 years, and still till this day, I am still guilty of, hiding behind my phone or hiding behind my email. I don't just teach networking systems and strategies. I also implement them. I'm growing and learning new systems and strategies every day. So when I worked at Dell, for example, for those of you who are listening who do have a corporate job, I was literally instant messaging the person in the cube right next to me. It's, it didn't make any sense. So here's an example of what just happened. It was not even a week ago. I had a speaker agent reach out to me. She found me on LinkedIn, and she sent me a couple of emails. And really, I thank my daughter for this. I didn't have the time to just email back and forth. So call me crazy. I picked up the phone and called her. We had never spoken before. I saw her phone number at the bottom of her email signature, so I called her. We hit it off. Fortunately, I had coverage for my daughter. We talked for 55 minutes. I actually missed an appointment that I was supposed to go to, but we hit it off. And she said, "You know what? Thank you so much for calling me. I am occasionally guilty of just hiding behind my phone and my computer." Well, that has led since then, 7 days ago, that has led to multiple conversations. And now we have scheduled a speakers mastermind where her and I are going to meet for the first time. She's going to come in to our speaker mastermind, share a lot of best practices and different types of things that they're looking for. And then I'm going to introduce her to 12 different speakers that she can, build a relationship with. And that never would have happened if I not picked up the phone and called her.
I love it. This is great stuff, and I can talk to you all day long. But
I know.
That being said, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on your workshops or on your speaking or to book you as a speaker, what are the best routes for them to reach out?
Yeah, I would say just link up with me or hook up with me on LinkedIn and Instagram. I am very active on both of those sites, or you can check out my website, amymahjoory.com. And I am currently working with several different agencies. You'll see those when you Google my name online if you want to go directly to them. Big Speak is one of them, and then a few others are in the works. So they're not official yet, so I just won't announce them. But social media, my website, or the Big Speak.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Amy, really appreciate you coming back on the show. It's been awesome catching back up with you, and congrats again on the new addition to the family. Just all great stuff happening for you in 2020, and excited for us to catch back up and do a 2021 episode. I already feel it; it's coming. We're gonna do an in rewind episode. And to the audience, it's going to be fun. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. It really does mean a lot to me and my team. And Amy, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.